חייב בכבדו במותו. וחייב כיצד, הנשמע בדבר אביו במקום, לא יאמר שלחוני בשבילי, בשביל עצמי, מערוני בשביל עצמי, כולי בשביל עצמי, אלא כולו בשביל אבא. במותו כיצד, היום דבר שמו המגיעים, לא יאמר ככה אמר אבא, אלא ככה אמר אבא מלך. הרי מכפרה נשכבו. אני מיני תוך 12 חודש, מכאן בערך עומד זיכרונות ברכה וחיי עולם הבא. It's hard to believe that a year has passed. And they're walking back from the first year side of Avodim Ori Avraham Oram Isaac and Menachem Shalom Chaim today, Shimakuta, Areni Kaparat Shkabot. The Gemara in Kiddushin continues regarding Kibbud Av Ve'em Shalom Chaim today. Ezeh Morah ve'ezohu Kibbud. Tanu Rabbanan, Morah lo umed במקומו, לא יושב במקומו, לא סותר דבריו, ולא מכריעו. כיבוד, מאכיל, משקה, מלביש, מכסה, מכניס ומוציא. When I was in the hospital, my father was ill last month, a little over a year ago. I recall the first days I came in, at lunchtime, people might eat, it wasn't eating anything from my mom. I walked in, and I think my mother said to me, "You try." He wasn't able to eat by himself. Took a spoon and fed him, and he started eating. He ate the whole meal and asked for more. Looking back, the feeling is that all he was doing is giving me the opportunity to fulfill Kibbud Av exactly as it's written. Nachim u'mashke. You read last week in Parshat Hazinu, Zchor yemot olam binu shnot yodov v'dor, she'al avicha v'yagedcha, zikenecha v'yomsha. We need to remember that as much as we miss our dear ones, with our pass on, are with us, especially those who are close in contact with them daily. We believe that they are heaven and hoping they are interceding and helping us, working on our behalf there. The way of the world, people pass on and we continue. We had the schools to be part of the great role model, Yirat Shamayim, Havat Abriot, and the examples are many inside Mountain Green. We had the schools. Last year, a number of newborns have been named after Avi Mori, son of my cousin Shmuel Moshe, and the son of Aryeh Tzedek, who we don't even know personally. Apparently, through some indirect emails we heard rumors and not enough information. We have the schools of the memory of a great life that we had contributed to many things, and for helping so many people. We've heard stories on and walking to people. Amazing. Of course, I was working in a house that came by and happened to know him. He was working there. In the hospital. Zchor yemot olam. Remember the days. Remember the Hashem's greatness, miracles. Understand how life continues, generation after generation. She'al avicha. Ask God now, especially in the Yamim Noraim, who are being judged for the coming year, for bracha v'atzlacha. We're not alone. We have forefathers and teachers who inspire us and help direct us in the correct way. Shnichatev v'nichatem b'sefer Chaim v'shalom v'yom. It's been a very tough year for my mother, especially, I think. She's always over the years, always been in the they weren't doing the same things, always a 50-50 game. Always complimenting him, keeping things in order proper. Convinced her to say a few words. Hashem Yishmer B'Yitzchak.
Thank you all for coming. And there's a song that I used to sing as a child, and I had not so much meaning. And all of a sudden yesterday, it came to me. Hayom Cholvin, Shanal Beret. About Hamanina La'olam L'Shem. It's unbelievable. It was a year since the Ketika of Rabbi Abe was supportive to many people during their crises. And we need him more than ever now to support us, to help us deal with the loss of our dear daughter, Rabbi. Throughout this year, I have tried to gain strength with his memory. The memory of what a vibrant person he was, what a wonderful person he was. The memory of his very deep emunah, his motto to us, to his family, and to others. God will help. And I call upon Hashem to help us, especially his family. God helps those who help themselves. And yes, we need a partner with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Rabbi Abraham taught us this very well. He felt that each day in his life he was to be a Shutaf b'Maaseh Bereshit. Each day and every day he would get up feeling he needs to do God's work on earth. A few weeks ago, our son Eliezer, who was in Washington, went to Boston to close up our house. Fortuitously, he was in Boston for the last recitation of Kaddish, and he was able to recite the final Kaddish of the year at Kadima Tovis Moshe, the shul that Abe held dear for 46 years, and for almost 40 years led with sincerity and devotion. In addition to reciting the final Kaddish of Avelut, as Eliezer gave it to our Torah, and also this morning I woke up to an email which he told me that last night in shul in Washington, at the Yortzeit, he also gave the Bar Torah, and he sent me some of us books, and if you don't want to Eliezer writes the following. I'm not going to deliver his whole Bar Torah. The hardest part of our year of mourning has been the marking of lasts rather than firsts. First, our celebrations. First, looks forward to repeat. The first time I sat with my father in shul on Yom Kippur in a little school chair at the Bima. The first baseball game, we were together. He taught me to ride a bicycle. Our first learning together. And I touched the big, large shafts I had inherited. And I remember. My first car, my dad totaled it after 3,000 miles. And I learned so much from and loved him so much for that. Because the next car was a better, faster, and a redder car. There's always the anticipation of the next event, hopefully showing some improvement or capacity for improvement. The lasts have been difficult experiences. Reciting the last Kaddish at the shul that my father led for 40 years and attended also religiously for an additional 6 or so. I stood at the Amud watching the Epishtem of the rabbi. At that milestone, I talked about Reyacha and the different relationships my father had with different people. I can recall how my father would treat each person and each question with a close reading of who the other party was. My father would listen and answer seriously trivial questions that were mountains to people asking him. My father never missed reading the size, style, and condition of the shoes in which the other was standing. Most of the time, who done personal custom. He had the ability to connect with many different people in different ways. He was proud that he could maintain a bridge of respect with all stripes of Jews and rabbis, and most Reform temples in Boston adhere to the local Vakakashri standards for outside catering. I remember the last time we hugged and kissed. I was leaving my sister's hospital. My parents had spent most of the previous week at her bedside. We all knew that it would be my last time seeing Brahma. My father gave me a last command. Go outside and walk with your mother. Parsha Shoftim was read just a few days before the ending of Seder the Kaddish, and would have been Abe's 70th anniversary of his bar mitzvah. As Eliezer talked about, his father. He said, my father was a friend to many people in many different ways, to people in the shul. He was the religious leader and also an advisor. My father always emphasized the need to lead, act in a way that promoted honesty and fairness. The proper action is to comply with the requirements of halacha and beyond that. Shovtim v'shokrim titein lecha v'chol she'orecha. And that part goes on in the many pasuk. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdo. Isn't it interesting that so much of his life's work was administering the Beit Din Boston? He did this with commitment to halacha and listening to the voices of all the participants. I witnessed personally how much energy he would expend in the room. Many a dinner was interrupted with a phone call, and he would not let the call go on. He believed the mitzvah sheba b'yotcha al tachitzenu. When the recalcitrant husband would call, how much energy Rabbi Abe would expend to convince him to give a gift, or for that matter, to a wife who did not want to accept the gift, he tried to help her sort through the issues and ramifications. Or cases of gerut that he would make sure was according to halacha and sincere commitment. Rabbi Halbfinger was not just a rabbi. He was a good friend. He was a wonderful husband, a devoted and proud father to each of his children. I see how much they each miss him and how much one deals with this loss, or each one deals with the loss in their own way. He was a doting grandfather. He loved each and every one of his 17 grandchildren. Last summer, they attended Ayelet's bat mitzvah at the Kotel, where she led a siyur l'torahs. And also, he attended the Hanachat Bilin, the Devir, at the Kotel. But unfortunately, we missed our grandson, Devir's bar mitzvah. One of the things our two younger grandsons said to me right after the passing of Saba, Noah and Adin, they each verbalized clearly that they are so sad to think that Saba will not be there for them at their bar mitzvah as he was for the others. Saba would sometimes play games with his grandchildren if they were lucky enough to convince him. Playing games was beyond the interest of Rabbi Aryeh. You could just see how our grandson, Adin, an avid game player, insisted that Saba play a game with him. But Saba couldn't understand the rules. I couldn't understand the rules either. It was a complicated game. You want to know which one it is? It's Kakam. So Adin convinced Saba that he would show him what to do each time. And we laughed to see how Saba went along with him. To Adin's happiness, letting Adin call all the shots, his and Saba's. Yes, Rabbi Halbfinger was a Rav, a community man, and was proud to be called a community servant. And with all, he was a chaber and a family man. In closing, I need to say that we lost the central pillar who provides stability and meaning in our lives. We pray that Rabbi Abraham Halbfinger will be a little told for us for this family.
Washington Clinic couldn't make it. Eliezer, Lisa, and family decided they couldn't take the day off. They sent the representatives, Nat and Vicky, and Ronan to have my father's partner in Haggadah exchange. I want to know the story we have afterwards. I have very respect for Nat. He's one of our Jewish projects, a lot of our interests, but then